Hi, I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. I'm in college now and I haven't figured out how to manage my time with all the assignments and all the reading. My life has just been out of control lately. You know what else has been out of control? Ellen DeGeneres has been in a lot of controversies lately and people have been covering them left and right. However, every time I watch a video or read an article about the downward spiral of Ellen DeGeneres, I crave more. Not more information about the controversies, but information about Ellen's career before it all took a turn. I crave to learn about Ellen's rise along with her fall because when you put the two together, you get a little story. A little tragedy in the eyes of Ellen, which is just moi. You get surprised at how she went from being loved by everyone to being hated by everyone. The contrast between what was and what is now is very interesting, so I invite you to come on this journey with me. Ellen DeGeneres did stand-up comedy at small cafes and clubs after she dropped out of college. In 1981, she became the MC, i.e. Master of Ceremonies, at Clyde's Comedy Club in New Orleans. Her career took off when comedian Jay Leno recommended her to The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. The Tonight Show sent a booking agent to see Ellen's act at a Hollywood comedy club called The Improv. The act went well, so Ellen appeared on The Tonight Show. She was the first female comedian to sit next to Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show. It was a big deal because he'd only done that at the time with a few men in the history of the show, she commented in an interview with Entertainment Weekly. After her appearance on The Tonight Show, Ellen was invited to other talk shows like Good Morning America and Larry King Live. Ellen's dry sense of humor won over viewers, so she got her own sitcom in 1994. Fun fact, the sitcom was originally named These Friends of Mine, but the name was changed to Ellen to avoid confusion with the sitcom Friends, which aired the same year. In 1997, Ellen's sitcom aired an episode in which her character, Ellen, came out. The episode was widely criticized because the 90s, and an ABC affiliate in Alabama refused to air it because Alabama. The climate surrounding this episode was mostly angry, so companies including JCPenney and McDonald's pulled their ads from the episode. A week before the episode came out, Ellen came out in real life. So not only did Ellen face backlash for her character's gayness, but she faced backlash for her real-life gayness as well. On the Oprah Winfrey Show, Oprah asked Ellen why it was important for her and her character to come out. Ellen simply responded, because it's okay. Ellen felt like by hiding her sexuality, she was sending the message that being homosexual is wrong. Ellen's ratings began to plummet after the coming out episode, and ABC faced a lot of backlash because the show focused quote-unquote too much on gay issues. By the time the show was cancelled, Ellen had already starred in movies like Mr. Wrong. In 2001, Ellen tried to recreate the success of her old sitcom with a new sitcom named The Ellen Show. The show was cancelled after 13 episodes because it failed to gain strong ratings. It seemed like Ellen wouldn't be a TV star anymore until The Ellen DeGeneres Show was conceived. According to Wikipedia, The Ellen DeGeneres Show is a talk show that combines comedy, celebrities, musical guests, and human interest stories. The show is very popular and gets around 4.2 million viewers per episode. Ellen's goofy dancing, great attitude, and cute segments endeared millions of Americans. Pretty impressive rise, but not nearly as impressive as the fall. Ellen's show solidified her as a nice and generous personality, so in 2018, when the New York Times published an article titled "Ellen is not as nice as you think," people were shook. Although the title was very provocative at the time, people saw some truth in it. In the article, Ellen talked about all the pressure of being expected to be happy and positive all the time. The article also noted the gap between Ellen's public image and how she presents herself on her Netflix special. Ellen's public image as a great charismatic friend greatly contrasted from the aloof, privileged way she portrayed herself on Netflix. About a month later, Ellen got criticized for supporting Kevin Hart after he stepped down as Academy Award host because of old homophobic tweets and jokes of his that resurfaced. People were very upset, and the New York Times article was still freshly burned in their memory. In October of 2019, Ellen faced even more backlash over a photo of her and ex-President George W. Bush chatting and laughing together. People were upset because Bush supported the ban on same-sex marriage and Ellen is gay, and because his administration declared war on Iraq. Ellen compared this to how she doesn't agree with people who wear fur or those who play Christmas music in October, but she can still be friends with them. More people got upset at this weird comparison. Now we get to the memes. Ellen invited Dakota Johnson to her show, and there Ellen asked Dakota why she didn't invite her to her birthday party. I don't know why anyone would ask that in front of a whole audience. It sounds like something that would make someone uncomfortable. Dakota had a reverse card though and told Ellen that she in fact did invite her to her birthday party. Dakota said that Ellen was offended that she didn't get invited to her 29th birthday, so she made sure Ellen was invited to her 30th birthday. Ellen denied being invited, but eventually it was confirmed that she was invited, and it was just that she was out of town that weekend. This was a very bad look for Ellen. She tried to put Dakota Johnson in a very uncomfortable position just because she thought she wasn't invited to a party. Dakota even said that she wasn't sure Ellen even liked her, so if they're not that close, why should Ellen be invited to the party? She's not entitled to an invitation. I know that this is Hollywood and stuff, but every famous person doesn't have to invite every other famous person to their party. Anyway, people joked that Dakota single-handedly took down Ellen's career. The hostility toward Ellen soared to new heights after comedian Kevin T. Porter made a thread in which he said he'd make a donation to the LA Food Bank for every story about Ellen being mean people reply with. People had a lot to say, and the thread went viral. In March, Nikki Tutorials exposed Ellen for not being kind or welcoming in her own show in a Dutch interview. Nikki was expecting to be greeted by Ellen, but was greeted by a tired intern instead. Nikki also revealed that she wasn't allowed to use the nearest bathroom because it was reserved for the Jonas Brothers. Ellen never commented on Nikki's statements, yet the interview convinced more and more people of Ellen's rotten character. In April, Ellen was criticized for jokingly saying being in quarantine was like being in jail. This rang very tone-deaf because she said this while sitting in her $27 million home and the virus was spreading like wildfire in prisons. The clip of her saying quarantine was like jail was made private after all the backlash. Fast forward to a week later, and Ellen's employees were panicking because they were uncertain about whether or not they get to keep their jobs. The show is being filmed remotely due to the virus, and Ellen allegedly hired new employees to produce the show from her house. The production company blamed the lack of communication on the virus. If anything, the virus should have made their communication through things like email even better, but whatever. In July, BuzzFeed published a story where one ex-employee and one current employee of the Ellen DeGeneres show called the show a toxic environment of fear, racism, and intimidation. Keep in mind that these are allegations. 2 weeks later, dozens of people who worked in the Ellen DeGeneres show alleged that the show is plagued with erotic bothering, aka what I'm putting on screen, and misconduct by top producers. After this, Warner Brothers conducted an investigation on the show and found some deficiencies in the day-to-day management of the show. Warner Brothers did some staffing changes after the investigation, but they never fired Ellen like some people were claiming. Ellen sent an email to her staff speaking about the changes. On day 1 of our show, I told everyone that the Ellen DeGeneres show will be a place of happiness. No one would raise their voice and everyone would be respectful to each other. I feel like that's a bit unrealistic. The show can't always have this happy atmosphere. People's moods fluctuate. There's no way everyone is always happy. I do understand the professional angle though. You shouldn't be shouting or disrespecting others in a work environment. However, a workplace where a normal person has to be of service to celebrities, some of whom, not all, are entitled pieces of crud, a place of happiness? Not likely. Obviously something changed and I am disappointed to learn that this has not been the case, and for that I'm sorry. The show's been running since 2003, of course there's been changes since then. This apology is just not very specific. It's a really weird apology. It gave me a bad gut feeling the first time I read it. Maybe it was just my lactose intolerance though, so don't rely on me to form your opinions, please. I'm also learning that people who work with me and for me are speaking on my behalf and misrepresenting who I am, and that has to stop. She continued, as someone who was judged and nearly lost everything just for being who I am, I truly understand and have deep compassion for those being looked at differently or treated unfairly, not equal, or worse, disregarded. To think that any of you felt that way is awful to me. It's not just the people that work for Ellen though. What about Nikki Tutorials or the celebrities she's made uncomfortable in the past? It was very uncomfortable when Ellen forced Mariah Carey to announce she was pregnant. Mariah lost her baby a week later and had to announce her miscarriage. I'm not saying that Ellen made her lose the baby. I am saying that had Mariah not been forced to announce her pregnancy, she wouldn't have been forced to announce her miscarriage as well. I felt like Mariah would have liked to mourn the loss of her baby in private. Other celebrities like Brad Garrett and Leah Thompson agree that Ellen has treated people horribly. Ultimately, Ellen's career has been on the rise for approximately 32 years and then the decline for 2 years, yet the decline has deteriorated her career much faster than the rise has built it up. Pretty crazy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.